Longhorn Nation, Sooner fans. This is episode 19, the Bevo Podcast, the only podcast exclusively dedicated to covering the greatest rivalry in college football, the University of Texas, University of Oklahoma. Kevin, I might sound down today because our teams suck. They're terrible. They can't win. And it blows my mind that we get ourselves so fired up for this. And I'm going to tell the listeners out there, Kevin, we're not here to make anybody feel better.
No.
This isn't like a counseling grief session where we're going to talk about all the things we did right. No, this is an anger session. This lets us vent our anger to the world. Okay? Because your team literally grasped defeat out of the jaws of victory, if that's the saying. Y'all were there. We,
again,
never had the chance. So we're going to do something unique at the Bevo Podcast. We're going to have 2 recap shows. So this is part 1, where we're going to focus on the Texas loss to Texas Tech and Lubbock. We will have a part 2 that focuses on the OU loss. Before we get into that, let's talk about our picks and games around the country. So because our teams suck, Kevin, we both lost the OU game. You thought they would cover. I thought they would cover. Clearly a loser. Texas game. I thought they would cover. You thought they would cover. Clearly a loser. Baylor. Baylor is our one note of redemption, Kevin. Baylor beats Iowa State.
Dave Aranda. Wasn't really close either.
The
second half.
I love his bald head. It is attractive. It gives off confidence. And he's such a weirdo that I love it. And
he is a weirdo.
Oh, he's a weirdo. But listen, they play tough football.
They're very sound. Breakdowns.
Oh,
tackle well.
I always thought the Iowa State line was weird. That's kind of why we picked it, because they don't have the horses they have. Now they play the same kind of football as Baylor, but I think Baylor's got upgraded talent over last year. Maybe not at the quarterback. Other games around the country. Clemson squeaks by Wake Forest. Did you watch any of this game?
I did watch some of it. I did. Clemson's offense looked better.
Yeah.
Wake Forest's offense, man, they can throw the football though.
Yeah. Did you think that Wake Forest's run game was like the weirdest run game you've seen in a really long time?
What do you mean?
They would hike the ball in shotgun, and then they would do the run pass option, and they would hold it there for a very long time, long time.
Yeah.
And then once the running back even got the ball, he was like just stationary to pick out his hole. And I mean, typically when you think about a running back, it's hit the gap hard, hit the line hard, whatever. No. It was all patience. And they were getting like 5-6 yards of carry against Clemson, which is a very good defense. I was fascinated by that. I don't know that I would want my team to employ it, but it was very effective, especially against Clemson. Obviously, it took them to double overtime. USC survives Corvallis.
Yeah, they did.
That was going to be the only salve to my wound of losing, and yet, nope, Lincoln Riley screws us again. Tennessee beats Florida, which is a huge win for Tennessee.
Big time win for them.
I cannot wait to see Tennessee play Georgia. That is going to be a heck of a game because Tennessee's offense can fly. Kent State put up some points against Georgia, which
that was a bit surprising.
Somehow made me feel great in the afternoon, only to have it ripped away from my heart. And lastly, games of note, not in the top 25, but they should have been, and they definitely will be. The Kansas Jayhawks are 4-0.
They look legit, man. They look legit. That offense is it's pretty special, man.
In what world is Kansas 4-0 leading the Big 12 with their win against West Virginia, which looks better and better? And Texas is 2-2 and Oklahoma's 3-1, both 0-1 in the Big 12. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. What a time.
I want to shout out our sponsor, and I'm going to do this with less energy than I normally do because the loss has still left me grieving. But if you've had a loss that has left you grieving, Please call Brown O'Haver at 405-735-5510. They're insurance adjusters for the insured, not the insurance company. If you've had a loss to your home, be a fire, wind, tornado, or your business, give us a call, 405-735-5510. If you ever have to wake up feeling like Kevin and I are waking up today because your house has been ruined and you just need a friend, someone to talk to, someone to vent your anger, vent your depression, basically be a grief counselor for you, call Brown O'Haver, 405-735-5510. We're all of those things, and we make you more money. So
get your paid.
Kevin, there are 5 stages of grief. Are you aware of this? Have you heard of this theory?
I have heard of this, but I'm not exactly sure what they are. So please let me know.
The first one's denial. Okay. And that occurs on Saturday night when you suffer a loss, either Texas or Oklahoma, it doesn't matter. You suffer a loss. It's denial, and it's this idea that you can't believe what you just saw. I can't believe we just lost this game to insert K-State or Texas Tech. Number 2, though, is anger. And it's an anger that kind of comes from the idea that we suck. We as the collective we. And that's where we're at today. We're on anger today.
Still there.
To me, I don't know about you, Kevin, that always lasts 2 days. It's Sunday, and then it's radio talk shows on Monday, and I'm just flat pissed off. Is that different for Texas fan?
No, not at all.
By Tuesday, late Tuesday, early Wednesday into Wednesday, it's bargaining. Okay. And once we've had a loss, especially if it happens before the Texas game, the bargaining that goes through my mind, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. The bargaining that goes through my mind is, for the love of God, just let us beat Texas.
Correct. We got to win. That's how I'm feeling. Yeah.
Like
we got to win in the Cotton Bowl this year.
It feels like your season's completely over. You have nothing left to play for. And you're like, I don't care if we lose every other game. I just want to beat Texas. Is that the same? Do y'all have that same feeling?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, no doubt.
I mean, like if y'all really do have a bad year, like, I don't know, you could. It's like as long as you beat Texas, same thing with you. As long as y'all beat OU.
Yeah, beat OU and everything's better.
Thursday basically turns into depression. And this is where the reality sets in, at least in your perceived mind, that you're never going to win again. You start looking at your upcoming opponent. For Oklahoma, that's TCU. For you, it's West Virginia. And you say, there's literally no way we beat this team. Or any other team that's going to come up on our schedule.
Yeah. Kansas. Our fans are, I think some Texas fans are already there, though. We're looking like we're going to lose to Kansas again. It's already happening. 2 years in a row.
Listen, dude, OU's going to lose to Kansas again if they play like they did yesterday. If they play defense like they played yesterday, they're going to lose to Kansas. But then Friday hits, and it's acceptance. You've dealt with the loss. You've gone through the stages. And then you're like, if we win out, we're just fine.
Yeah. So, everything we want is still in front of us.
Our
goals are still attainable.
I just want to fast forward. I want to fast forward to Friday. Where I've done the mental math in my head that says if OU wins out, we're still in the playoff. I'm not there. I know I'll be there because I've experienced this, especially to Kansas State, too many times. Any additions or subtractions or modifications do you want to make to the stages of grief as it fits a football fan?
No, that pretty much covers it all.
To reiterate, we're in the anger stage. To let you vent your anger, why don't you tell us what happened in Lubbock, Texas yesterday?
Man, same old Texas, basically. Same old Texas. Got out to a great start. Remember playing on the road in Lubbock, which is, you've been there, I've been there.
Remind us of Sarkisian's record on the road.
I think it's like 13-26, something like that. I don't have it in front of me, but it's not good.
Now it's 13-27, but go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so got off to a good start, right? End of the first quarter, up 10-7. Go into the locker room, up 24-14. Feeling pretty good, right? Start the third quarter, I felt like they had a chance to put the game away. Texas Tech was desperate. They're going forward on fourth down. They're not getting it. We get the ball back with a chance to go up 17, put the game away. We go down the field and can't punch it in the end zone on fourth down. They get the ball back. It's just same old Texas, man. The second half woes continue. Frankly, I don't know what it is with Sark and these second half leads. He turned into a different play caller, turned into a different coach. You remember Texas cornerback Rod Babers played in the early 2000s?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, he tweeted out something last night. Caught my attention. He said Texas is 7-9 under Sarkisian, right? So they've had the lead at halftime in 5 of those 9 losses, right? They've held the fourth quarter lead in 5 of those 9 losses. They've had double-digit leads in 4 of the 9 losses. So basically what he's saying is they win the game plan and the preparation part, but the adjustments, they just struggle with it. I don't understand it.
Non-existent.
Yeah. So, man, it's just getting frustrated. Defensively, there's no pass rush at all.
Well, real quick, just a small salient point on that. There's 2 ways to look at that, right? Either he's making adjustments, either he's not making any adjustments, right? Because what worked, he assumes is going to work in the second half, right? It worked in the first half, so why change what works? So it's either that or he's making completely wrong adjustments.
Correct.
It's one or the other. It's one or the other.
One of the two.
And it's interesting that you mentioned play calling because it's like he does. It's like he gets conservative, but weirdly conservative. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, Bijan had a really good run for a touchdown in the second quarter. Then he had a great run in the third quarter.
40-yard run. It was incredible.
It was incredible. Right down the sideline. The guy, I mean, I don't know. So go ahead. So you get to the second half. Where are we at?
Yeah, I mean, again, up 24-14. Bijan has a 40-yard run. Then they score to make it 31-24. And then it's 3-and-out punt. They go down and score. Again, 3-and-out punt. And then they get the field goal to take the lead.
Really quick, with those 2 3-and-outs, what did you see there? Was it not running the ball on first down? Was it running and getting stopped?
Well, they were running it on first down, but they weren't getting anywhere. And then they started running the Wildcat with Roschon Johnson taking the snap from center. They ran that play 5 or 6 times, and it did nothing.
You know what?
He kept running it. Go ahead.
You know what his carries were? Do you got his carries in front of you?
I don't.
Roschon Johnson, 9. You ready for this? This is gonna piss you off. 9 carries. Okay, he's a good back. We've talked about Roschon Johnson.
Yes.
9 carries for 15 yards. 1.7 yards a carry, Kevin. What are you doing? What?
They kept running this Wildcat, right? And here's the thing. The Wildcat can work, but you got to do something. It's the same thing. It's just him. He gets the snap, and he just runs. There's no faking a handoff to Bijan. There's no kind of counter to it. It's just the same play, and they just kept loading it up and running towards him, and it kept working for them. And I'm thinking, surely there's got to be a counter, right? Surely he's going to fake it and throw a pop pass to a tight end, right? Nope. Just kept putting his head down and just running right into the Texas Tech defensive line over and over.
It's fascinating.
You got to do something different here.
It's fascinating because we're not as smart as Sarkisian.
No.
Sarkisian,
not pretending to be.
Sarkisian is, by all accounts, an offensive mastermind. Great play caller. Schemed it up against Alabama. Schemed it up against Oklahoma last year in the Red River rivalry. Led the offensive Alabama to a dominating national championship run. Was the co-offensive coordinator for all those USC wins. And so he's seen a lot of football. He's made a lot of play calls. What in the world is going through a dude's mind that he's running Wildcat with Roschon Johnson? And for those listeners that are like, why is John so fired up about Texas losing? First of all, I love Texas losing. Except for I'm a host of a Boomer Bevo podcast, and this is about to be immaterial when we play Texas in 2 weeks, when we're both 3-2. So go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, the Wildcat can work. It can be successful, but once you ran it 3 times and it got nowhere, you had to adjust something. Hey, let's hand it off to Bijan from the Wildcat.
Yeah.
How about that?
Or just run regular football. Just play
just
run a regular
offense.
play. Bijan is a fine running back. Why are we taking the ball out of his hands? Number two, just put Roschon Johnson next to him like you would Bijan Robinson. If you're trying to spell Bijan, just run regular football.
Just run your offense.
Coaches get so crazy like that, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, we're now in the fourth quarter. Break it down from the fourth quarter.
Listen, I'm pulling up the play summary now. But, I mean, we get to the fourth quarter. Hold on 1 second here. It's just 3-and-out, punt. They go down the field. We get the ball back. Again, 3-and-out and punt. All right. Pulling up the fourth quarter plays. It's 31-17 after the Bijan Robinson 40-yard touchdown. They then have a 10-play, 75-yard drive. They get a touchdown. It's 31-24. We come back. Hudson Card throws an incomplete pass. Roschon Johnson for 2 yards. 3rd and 8. We throw a pass complete to Roschon Johnson for no gain. We punt. All right. Then they get a 13-play, 66-yard drive, which they get pretty far, but they turn it over on downs again. All right. Then we're in the fourth quarter here.
Texas Tech turns it over on downs, right?
Yeah, okay. At the 2-yard line. So we have the ball. We're pinned back deep in our own territory, but we're up. Run Bijan for a 1-yard gain. Throw an incomplete pass. Get a delay of game penalty after that. So we're back at the 1.
Don't even get me started. Wait, hold up. Don't even get me started on delay of game penalties. You'll hear all about that in episode in the part 2. But go ahead.
For sure. Then 3rd and 11, Hudson Card throws a deep shot, incomplete. We got a punt from our own end zone. 49-yard punt. They get a 20-yard return. They're at our 30-yard line, just like that. Then they go 5 plays to get a touchdown, wide open tight end, a coverage bust. And just like that, the game is tied. We get the ball back. 5 plays. We get a 4-yard run for Bijan, 1-yard run for Roschon, incomplete pass with pass interference on Tech, 5-yard run for Bijan, 2-yard run for Bijan. We get a timeout, incomplete pass to Jordan Whittington on 3rd down, which I think he actually caught. I don't know if you saw that on the sideline.
I did.
I thought he caught it live.
It looked like a catch.
Called it incomplete. They didn't even review it.
It looked like a catch.
Yeah, and I couldn't believe they didn't even review it. So we punt. They get the long drive, get the field goal to take the lead, which we all thought was the winning field goal. They get the field goal. There's only, 21 seconds left in the game.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's over. They have that miracle drive, 10 yards to Jatavian Sanders, a crazy 28-yard pass to Tariq Milton to get him the 1st down, then another 8-yard pass to Jatavian Sanders, and they kick the field goal with Bert Auburn to tie the game. It's a miracle, and they're going into overtime.
46 yards in 19 seconds. 46 yards in 19 seconds. That's unbelievable. And I'm thinking
Hudson Card credit. That throw to Tariq Milton was incredible on the sideline.
So what at this point in the game, I am thinking this is the 2020 game again.
Yes, 2020.
I'm thinking Texas Tech is going to Texas Tech this and lose it in overtime because they can't stop Texas with 19 seconds to go or whatever the number was from getting into field goal range. It was at that point in the game, I thought Texas had this one.
Yeah.
What did you think you had it won?
Same thing. I was like, we're going to somehow steal this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we get to overtime. Tech wins the toss. Obviously, they choose to play defense like everybody would. Get the ball, hand it off to our best player, and he fumbles the football. Best player on the football field.
Texas Tech gets it into field goal range. Game over.
Game over.
So here's what the first thing I saw about that is what sports fans always complain about is not putting the ball in the hands of their playmakers, the hands of their best players. And so it's always like a very easy conversation, or a really very easy, convenient excuse when you lose. Like, why did Hudson Card throw an interception? Why is Roschon Johnson running the ball? Why? But when it's your Bijan Robinson in this case, right? Your best player on both sides of the field, it's unquestioned. When he fumbles the ball, it is a gut punch for you. Am I wrong? Is it not a gut punch?
Yeah. Yeah, you feel bad for him because he's a guy who does all the right things on and off the field, right? And for him to fumble on the first play of overtime, I mean, yeah, it was a major gut punch. And as soon as they recovered the football, you just knew the game was over. They just needed a field goal. I thought Tech made it a little bit more difficult than they had to. They ran several plays after that. I would have just ran the damn kicker on the field right after that, tried to get out of there. But yeah, so good win for Tech. Horrible loss for Texas, though.
So when you're looking at the game and you're thinking back on it now that you've had a day to digest it, it is like a team loss. It is an
absolute team loss. Yeah, this is not when you can just pin on the defense, just on the offense, just on special teams. Everybody gets it. Yeah, it's on everybody.
Offensively, if you just turn one of those 3 and outs into any kind of drive, it helps your defense.
4 and out turnovers on downs. It shows how desperate they were.
Dude, listen to this stat. This stat blew my mind. Texas Tech, 6 fourth down conversions.
6 4. I have never seen anything like that. 6 out of 8 on fourth down. Listen. And then the mental awareness of the players on defense. We had Texas Tech in 3rd and 26. 3rd and 26, and we've got guys jumping off sides. We jump offside, the quarterback just throws it deep, and we get a pass interference call. Why are you jumping offside on 3rd and 26? Like, what are you trying to do? It's 3rd and 26. You just play your base coverage.
Get them off the field.
Get them off the field. What are they going to do?
We'll talk about them. To break the statistics down even more, just to continue to rub salt in the wound and fuel this anger-filled recap. Texas Tech was 7 for 20 on 3rd down, okay? Which isn't great, but it's not horrible, okay?
Yeah.
But then they're 6 for 8 on 4th down. So what that means really is when you got them into a 3rd down situation, they were really 13 for 20.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrible.
Horrible, yes.
That is just insane. Now let this sink in. Texas Tech had 100 plays to your 60 plays.
100 plays.
I mean, that's 40.
It's shocking.
That is, and that's shocking to think you were in the lead most of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, still controlling the game.
Conversely, though, and this is where, like, you can maybe make the argument that Sark knows what he's doing on offense, or it was just working, or Texas Tech's defense is not any good. Y'all had you had 7 yards per play. They only had 4.8 yards per play, but they just had to have so many freaking more plays.
Yeah, so many plays. And I don't understand about Texas how they continue to make these average quarterbacks look like Heisman Trophy candidates. Every year, guys like Taylor Cornelius, remember him from Oklahoma State?
100%, yeah. Corn dog.
We made him look, we made him look, what's the guy, Max Duggan from TCU? We make this guy look like a superstar. It's unreal. I don't get how it keeps happening.
Well, I mean, it keeps happening because you don't play defense, but then also you don't back it up with any offense. And Oklahoma is going to be a little bit different when we get there. But going 3 and out against Texas Tech, who is giving up 7 yards a play. Think about this. This is what's insane to me, right? The statistical analysis of this game, when you really think about it, is 7 yards a play means every 2 plays should be a first down.
Correct.
And yet, in the most critical times in the game, y'all were 3 and out, 5 and out.
Yeah. And look, I know we've got our backup quarterback out there. I don't see that as an excuse, though. Hudson Card played good enough to beat Texas Tech.
20 for 30, 277 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. I mean, that's what you need out of your backup quarterback.
Yes, you would dream to get a performance like that from your backup quarterback.
I mean, Oklahoma would have to take that from their backup quarterback. Bijan, here's the thing, though, man. Bijan only touches the ball 16 times. Well, he might have had some passes. I might not have that right. But running the ball.
Yeah, he had where's it at? No, he only had 1 catch.
Okay.
1 catch for 22 yards.
So he only had 17 touches, 16 rushes for 101 yards. It's not enough rushes.
No, it isn't.
Those 9 that you're giving Roschon Johnson, it's just I'm sorry, it's not enough. It's 16 yards
Yeah.
when he's averaging 6.3 yards a carry and 2 touchdowns.
Especially the ones out of the Wildcat. It just wasn't working. You just kept going to it. And look, I'm all about you keep trying something until they can stop it, right? But they kept stopping it, and you kept trying it. Stop. They just run your offense.
On defense, Anthony Cook has 11 tackles. He kind of stood out.
Yeah, I mean he's had a really good season. He's had a good season.
And then Overshown was like third or fourth in tackles, and he only played the second half of the game, right?
Yeah, he did. He had I showed him for 6 tackles and a sack. Again, though, the issue I have with the defense is they just couldn't get off the field, and there were no playmakers. There was nobody to really make a play. Donovan Smith has thrown 5 interceptions in the last 2 games combined. You telling me we couldn't get one off of him?
Y'all didn't create.
Someone's got to make a play, man.
Did y'all create any turnovers, fumbles, or anything?
No. I mean, look, he fumbled the ball, but he recovered his own fumble. How about that? On a run.
Pretty consistent theme between the 2 games.
Yeah.
Where does Texas go from here, Kevin? Not specifically with West Virginia, but just Texas as a program. Texas for the rest of the season. You're 2-2. You're still positioned for the Big 12. I mean, I guess, but it can't feel good. You're out of any kind of playoff consideration at this point, which I don't know that Texas fan ever had that expectation.
Not this one. And my prediction was 8-4 before the season started. So,
well, what you tell me? You still good with 8-4?
Yeah, I still am. But I mean, they just gotta play way more consistent than this, And this second half stuff, listen, Texas Tech is not a very good team. No disrespect, right? But I mean, if you watch that team, you just didn't see a team that was any kind of threat to win the Big 12. They shouldn't have even been in the game. The game should have been at least a 10-point victory.
Does Quinn Ewers make a difference in this game?
Yes. He does.
How so? Because I thought Card played a pretty good game.
He did. It just gives you a better down the field option, and there are plays to be made against that secondary. They've got some big physical corners who you can run by. I saw multiple receivers open yesterday that Hudson Card didn't hit, and that he didn't hit. He didn't throw it to him. It's like he just didn't see them. He's really good, and he's earned everybody's respect for playing. Because remember, he's injured too. That ankle is not right. He's still limping around out there. Okay, but he just doesn't see the field as quickly. He still kind of hesitates. He can make throws late. His decision-making just isn't quite there yet. Whereas with Ewers, in addition to his arm talent, he sees the guy breaking, he's going to throw it. He's going to sling it. That's the difference with Card and Ewers. That's the difference he would have made. But again, this is not me bashing Hudson Card. He played more than well enough for Texas to beat Texas Tech yesterday. So I'm not putting this on him at all. So yes, Ewers would have made a difference out there.
Season going forward, offensively, it sounds like to me you want 2 things to happen. You want Ewers back on the field, which is sounding more and more likely, at least by OU. And 2, to cut out the stupid Wildcat plays. And maybe things are okay on that side of the ball. Is there anything else I'm missing on offense?
Well, yes, the interior offensive line. Okay. The guard, center, guard. They haven't done great in run blocking. They haven't been able to open the holes for Bijan Robinson or Roschon. Except for Bijan got
6.3 yards a carry. Sounds pretty good.
Here's the thing, though. This is him. That's his own magic. Just go back and watch some of those plays. Go back and watch the highlight. He gets hit in the backfield all the time. He leads the nation in yards after contact. And that's because he's so good. But he gets hit in the backfield all the time. There was so much penetration by Texas Tech. And they got a decent defensive line, right? But these guys are getting in the backfield. I mean, before he even gets to the mesh point, he has to juke and spin and make all this magic happen just to make a 5-yard run. Even the commentators mentioned it yesterday. He has some of the most exciting 5-yard runs we've ever seen. Yeah, because he's getting hit by a defensive tackle in the backfield. He has to use his incredible talent to get out of it just to make those things happen. If the offensive line was better, he would have ran for 200 yesterday.
Other side of the ball, if those are the 2 adjustments, we got to focus on the offensive line, quit the stupid Wildcat, get Ewers back on the field. That hopefully addresses some of your offensive woes. What do we do on defense?
See, this one, I'm a little bit more concerned here because I don't know how you find guys that can rush the passer all of a sudden, right? The pass rush just wasn't there. The Texas Tech offensive line is not great, and we couldn't get to the quarterback. We made Donovan Smith again look like Cam Newton. So that's my biggest concern, and we got to start making some plays. Donovan Smith puts the ball on the ground. You got to recover it, right? He throws the ball up. You got to intercept it. Make a play. So we got to start making plays and getting on the damn field.
One more annoying point of note. Well, actually, a couple more. Number one, I noticed Texas Twitter was really upset that they kept cutting in with Aaron Judge. Did that bug you as much as it bugged everybody else?
Absolutely. What is he? I mean, it's not like he's going for his 73rd home run. I mean, 61. What are we doing?
I just giggled. Obviously, as an OU fan, I'm just giggling because it was annoying. If that was happening during an OU game, I would be like, "What are we talking about? Like, this is insane." If somebody wants to watch his at bats, go to the MLB Network, get online, show it on ESPN News, whatever. Not during a football game, a national telecast.
2022. Everybody has access to watch that game. Everybody does.
I was giggling though because Twitter wasn't having it. Twitter wasn't having any of it, man. They were so pissed.
Listen, I could see if it was Pujols trying to hit his 700th home run, but his 61st of the season. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah,
it's not like he's breaking the all-time home run record.
He's not even breaking the Yankee season. He's not even breaking the Yankee record, is he?
No. It's the record is 61. He would have tied the Yankee record and the American League record with it. Yeah. So I don't understand it. And again, it was breaking in during the Clemson game too. Any game that was on ABC or ESPN.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? This is absolutely unnecessary.
Last point of total annoyance of things that would bug the crap out of me if this was an OU broadcast. Don't you hate seeing the injured kid on the sideline watching the game?
Oh. But why are we interviewing this guy? Like, I feel horrible for him. The injury, from what I hear, was absolutely gruesome. Do we need to go up there and interview the kid while he's trying to watch the games, got his leg up? This is yeah.
And the camera on the kid just kept being on, you know what I mean? And he's smiling. Yeah. Boy, that kid's always smiling. It's like
yeah, it's like this is like fake journalism. You know, it was bad. Yeah, it was. And again, nothing against the kid. I feel horrible for him.
It's not on the kid,
but he doesn't want to be on TV injured.
But if this is an OU game and I'm having to watch that, it is, oh my God, it's driving me insane. Yeah. Like, stop showing the kid. Stop showing this kid. Like,
yeah,
I don't even know how to explain.
It was so bad. Yeah,
it was just so bad. Oh my gosh, Kevin. We're going to talk in part 2, Oklahoma. I've held it together now for like 33 minutes. I hope in part 2, I'm able to hold it together a little more. But if you're just watching this episode, make sure you go to YouTube, subscribe, like. Please tune into part 2. Check out our breakdown of the OU loss. Kevin, where else can they hear us?
Everywhere you can find a podcast, man. Just Google Boomer Bevo Podcast. We're there.
The numbers continue to be good on KREF Army. Thank you, guys. The numbers on everywhere else are going up, especially on, it seems that iTunes is a great place for us to listen. So make sure you're following us there.
Please give us a review. We'd appreciate it.
Yeah, or make some comments online. Or if you feel the same anger that we do, get the Twitters fired up at Boomer Bevo Pod. We want to hear from you guys. We want to hear the anger. We want to hear the hate. We want to hear how mad everybody is because it will only fuel our hate fire. Kevin, this is a reluctant Boomer.
Hook 'em.